Welcome everyone back to the channel, and today is a special day because it marks the first ever episode of my guides that I plan to do on this channel. Again, it's been one of my goals to pretty much become a cybersecurity/IT educator, and I'm going to start off with this guide, Cybersecurity Analysis Plus exam by CompTIA, because it's just one of those exams that are pretty much overlooked, right? So this is the very first episode. Welcome, guys. I already did a video that pretty much does a rundown of how I passed CySA in a couple weeks, and you can check that. But this guide and subsequent videos, or at least this guide in particular, is going to be pretty much a recap of the CISA exam, or what's in it, to give you an idea of what it is, the purpose of it, how much it costs, etc., etc. And then subsequent guides would pretty much be the content. So it can be a guide that you can listen to on your way to work, or if you have any free time and stuff like that, to help supplement the text or whatever other resources you're using. All right. Just to give you a little bit of a background of my qualifications, I am CISA Plus certified, Sec Plus, Pen Test, CISSP. I've been in cyber world for roughly, I want to say, 5 years now, and yeah, I like teaching. So I think this will kind of go hand in hand, and hopefully will help some of you guys out here who are looking into perhaps taking down this exam. All right, and without further ado, let's begin. So, episode 1, this is the CompTIA CySA exam guide. Again, I'm pretty much going to make a playlist of this, but what is CISA and what is the purpose of it? So, the CompTIA CySA certification is a vendor-neutral certification that validates the ability to detect, analyze, respond to cybersecurity threats using behavioral analytics and data-driven approaches. Unlike entry-level certs, because this is an intermediate, like Security Plus, which focuses on theory, CySA Plus dives into real-world operational skills used in security operational centers and incident response teams. Think of CySA as the hands-on blue team certification for aspiring cybersecurity defenders. The exam has five main domains as of CS0-003, which is the current exam code. You have number 1, security operations, which is 34%. Vulnerability management, 30%. Incident response management, 20%. Reporting communication, 10%. 5 is architecture and tool sets, right? So, and you can see here the subsections. For example, security operations is log analysis, SIM alerts, threat detection, escalation. Vulnerability management has your vulnerability scans and the tools that you use to do those scans, your CVSS scoring, and your patch validation, so on and so forth, right? What makes this exam unique is that it's hands-on focus. It prepares you for work in a SOC situation or incident response situation. So it actually teaches you the techniques. It teaches you the tools that you might use to cover threat detection, analysis, mitigation. And it's based on real-world tools and job roles. So you're going away from theory into the nitty-gritty a little bit, right? So it aligns with frameworks like NIST, the MITRE attack, and CVSS, and it's required or preferred for DoD 8570 compliance, which is pretty much a standard that the DoD uses to kind of rate you to rate the certifications that you have, if I'm putting it in correct terms, right? So basically, your Security Plus, so I believe it's changed slightly since I last remember, but it's pretty much, you have Security Plus, which would be your level 1 IAT. CySA Plus would be your IAT level 2, and CASP, or Security X as they're calling it now, would be your IAT level 3. And they also have IAM. IAT is Information Assurance Technician. IAM is Information Assurance Manager, I believe. And I'll probably do a video expanding on that, because it's good information to know, especially for those who wants to go into the DoD side of IT. Who is it for? Who is this exam for? So this is for aspiring SOC analysts, Tier 1 and Tier 2 security analysts, threat hunters, incident responders, IT professionals moving into the cybersecurity. Why does it matter? Cyber attacks, are rising. We're in more of a digital environment. It's almost completely digital right now, because I think most kids nowadays are like people pretty much from like grade school to high school right now. They've grown up in the era of internet, so they know nothing else. And as more and more of everything becomes IoT and digitalized and whatnot, cyber attacks are just going to increase and become more intricate. So since these are rising, these type of threats are rising, there are people who need to become defenders that will stop or thwart these attacks by analyzing threats in real time. Employers want more than theory. People who can use tools, interpret logs, and act fast. And CySA helps fill that gap in the defensive roles, because you're going to be blue team, which is more defensive, and red team is more on the pen test side, and we'll get into that in subsequent videos, right? So just to go on a little bit of a rant, not a rant, but a little bit of a caveat, I should say, is that as much as this exam is giving you knowledge on, how to interpret logs, the different tools that blue teamers or red teamers and everyone in between are using, I would suggest, if you're coming into cybersecurity, you should not only read the book, but actually use the tools that they're suggesting, like Nmap, Metasploit, etc., because you want those hard skills when you're going in for a job interview, right? How does this test help your career? It demonstrates to employers that you're SOC ready. It builds a strong foundation for advanced certs like CISSP, GCIH, or CISM. It definitely, I would say, as I said in my other video, that this definitely helped me pass the CISSP by giving me that strong foundation. That's 100% true. And it can lead to jobs, security analysts, your incident response specialist, compliance analysis, threat intel analysis, right? So that's how it can help you, right? Even though it's an overlooked exam. And these are some details about the exam. So it is 165 minutes total. It's 165 minutes total. It's multiple choice and performance based. I'm not sure if you get a break. I don't think you get a break. If I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. Passing score is 750 out of 900, and it's recommended that you have Network Plus, Security Plus, and 3 to 4 years in IT. Again, kind of reiterate from my last video, is that this is one of the exams where you kind of have to have a foundation. You can 100% come into it, or pretty much any CompTIA exam specifically, and pass it if you study enough. But this is one of those exams where you kind of have to have a bit of a foundation to be well-to-do in this exam. And the cost is $392, so it's $400. So I wouldn't risk taking this test straight off the bat. Closing remarks. So again, many people overlook this exam You know, I will say that getting CISSP, because I've studied for CISSP even though I don't have CISSP yet. CISSP is a bit more in depth, a bit more on the GRC side as well. So a lot of people just jump from Security Plus to CISSP, which can be done. But if you want to kind of take your time, kind of get a stronger foundation for those advanced certs like CISSP or CISSP, I would definitely recommend CySA. You know, and especially if you're in the DoD, you know, it's a free re-up. Well, necessarily say it's a free re-up, but it's an easier re-up for your Sec Plus as opposed to taking CISSP, right? It's a little bit less of a risk. That's part of the reason why I did it, and I also did it because I wanted to do CySA. I thought it was, you know, a good foundation for me, which it ended up working out for me in the long run. But anyways, guys, that's basically the gist of the exam, and for the next video we're going to jump right into it. That being Cybersecurity Analyst 101, pretty much the basics starting off. Stay tuned for that video, which should be coming up soon. If you guys have anything to say in the comments, if there's anything I could do better, any questions or concerns, you can leave it in the comment section below. With that being said, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.